Hey, everybody, welcome to Think Business Live with Brenda Meller. We're doing our Take 5 series this week with you, Brenda. Brenda, you are my LinkedIn coach. You teach me so much about LinkedIn. Always love our time together. And thought we could kick off this week's series of our 5-minute conversations with, let's just talk about LinkedIn and how to use the real estate on LinkedIn most efficiently and effectively.
Yeah, awesome. So I'll give you a couple of quick tips here, John. I mean, the biggest mistake I see people making is they think about LinkedIn the same way as a resume, and they basically just copy and paste everything from their resume to their profile. Big mistake, especially if you're using LinkedIn for business development. Your profile should really be written for your ideal target audience. So
Yeah.
think about everything from the top to the bottom, lining up to speak to that ideal audience and promote your products and services.
Yeah, let's talk about, a lot of people, and I hear this a lot sometimes, Brenda, say, well,
Mhm.
I'm not a writer, so they'll put it off. And one of the things I always say is hire a writer, right? Get
Mhm.
somebody that can interview you. That's what I did, where that can then write it how will look best in LinkedIn.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's people out there. I mean, this is part of the service I provide, LinkedIn profile optimization, where I will ask questions and then I kind of work my marketing magic and I create the profile rewrite for you. I could change the oil in my car too, John, but I'm going to get my hands messy and I'm not going to enjoy the process of doing it. That's why I pay someone to do the oil changes for me. So it's kind of the same concept there.
Yeah, let's talk about you as a LinkedIn coach. Every time I talk to you, you always open my eyes more and more about what can be done and how LinkedIn can be used. And in many cases, like as a business coach, I tell clients, well, I see things that you can't see, and I hear things that you can't hear, and then I
Mhm.
can create an action plan. And you actually, in my opinion, do that for LinkedIn. You show people, oh, that how long has that been on the page? A long time, and people miss it. And so what are some of the key things people miss, and talk about what you do with clients?
Sure. So one thing is like, let's say I want to do business with you, John. I mean, I think about if I'm your ideal target audience, I'm looking at your profile. So I'm kind of looking at your profile through that lens. So one area, for example, is clicking on the contact info. Okay. If I want to do business with you, I'm going to expect to see a business email address, not like a Yahoo or a Gmail or something like that. I'm also going to expect to see a web page or two or three. Where can I go next if I want to sign up to work with you, John? So making sure that those links work, and I mean, there's a lot of times I click on a link and it takes me to an invalid page because your website has been redesigned,
Yeah.
or to a page that's no longer valid, no longer relevant. So that's just like a real simple basic. Just go through your contact info. Do this like once a year where, you're evaluating what's in there. Do you have the right links, the right instructions for people to get a hold of you?
Yeah, that's so important. One of the things you told me when we met the very first time many years ago is under my name on LinkedIn, make it easy for people to get a hold of you, and
Mhm.
use that line and put your phone number there, which I do. And it's been great. LinkedIn's been great, continually great for my business. All right, tell people how they can connect with you, Brenda, if they want to work with you, and tell everybody about the cool things you're doing with clients.
Sure, absolutely. So if you want to learn more about me, you can go to linkedin.com and just search for Brenda Meller, Meller. Now, I have one of the profiles, John, that if you go to my profile, the default button is follow instead of connect. If you follow, you can see my post, but if you want to connect with me, you've got to click on the more button. And then underneath there, there's one of the options that will either say connect or personalized invite. Just mention that you heard me on John's show, and I'd be happy to accept your invitation. And as far as what I do and how I help clients, John, I work with individuals as well as sales teams and companies, the marketing departments, etc., on profile optimization, LinkedIn coaching, LinkedIn team training, and I'm starting to do some work on company page strategy as well as master classes. So now I have some online offerings where you can learn from me from the comfort of your own home and still get an option for some group coaching with me as well.
I love it. I love it. Brenda Meller, always a pleasure connecting with you. And we're going to continue this conversation. Think community. Brenda is my LinkedIn coach. I refer her to a lot of people. I think she brings a ton of value. If she can be of service to you, please reach out. Brenda, always a pleasure. Thanks a ton.
Thanks. Thanks so much, John. It's a pleasure.